Back for another update. I just wanted to quickly come on here to show you exactly what I see with Bitcoin before the monthly close. So the monthly closes in about 55 minutes. Daily closes in about 55 minutes as well. So what we have over here on the daily time frame is a bearish engulfing. Notice how the red candle fully engulfs the candle before it, which was yesterday. Now, if this candle closes like this in 54 minutes, then it's more likely than not will come down to the 21 and 50-day moving average. So I'm going to show you this Bitcoin chart that I did here for my members. And basically it shows this range that we've been forming since June 25th. Okay, and you see how you swept the range highs on June 29th and then you violently retracted back down to the lows of the range. If you can't get above this level right here, if you can't get back above that level at around 107.910 to around 108.170, then it's very likely we'll come down to revisit the 21 and 50-day moving average sitting at 106,000 to 105,965, because what we see over here is a sweep of the range highs. So you can see that there's a concerted effort to keep the price down below the top of this range, and then you have what's called your upthrust after distribution, where retail go crazy, and that gives the market maker the best opportunity to sell their bags because they have the most liquidity here, because so many people are getting excited. So if we're unable to get above this level right here at 107.910 to around 108.161, then it's very likely we'll come down to revisit the 21 and 50-day moving average. Notice how the waves are also overlapping here. Now, this can definitely be invalidated. What I would want to see here going forward is a daily close back above 109,064 in order to confirm a move up to 115,250, because there's no definitive moves yet to tell us that the correction is done, right? So far we look corrective on the small time frame and we look corrective on the high time frame. There's nothing that tells us that this is the bottom of our correction. Okay, and with this sweep over here, I'm a little bit cautious. If we're unable to reclaim those highs, like I said, we would be coming down to the 21 and 50-day moving average. If you lose the 21 and 50-day moving average, then we'll come down to the 50% fib at 105.133. Lose the 50% fib, then we'll come down to the 38.2 at 103.511. If you get a daily close below the 38.2% fib, then it's very likely we'll revisit the June 22nd low and sweep 98K and come down to around the 200-day moving average and the 50% fib at 93.418 and 96.256. So currently, Bitcoin, if we take a look at this chart right here, I'll show you guys, we can see we have triple negative divergence on the weekly time frame. So taking a look at the weekly RSI, we can see here that we have 3 consecutive lower highs. Okay, so we have a higher high here, another higher high, but we have 3 consecutive lower highs. Okay, that's your triple negative divergence, and we see the exact same thing on the 3-day time frame as well. Do you guys see that 3-day time frame? This is the 3-day. You can still see it, and we are still making lower highs. So until we can get back above 109,056, like I showed you guys right over here, 109,064, then we still remain trending sideways. And technically, we're still in a corrective structure. We've been in this correction since May 22nd, and on the small time frame, it does look like this is a correction as well. So I just wanted to point that out there, that we haven't made any definitive moves to the upside or the downside yet. So I just want you guys to be mindful of these triggers, and don't forget that the daily time frame is printing a bearish engulfing candle. Okay, this daily candle closes in about 50 minutes, so I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. And yeah, this is Bitcoin. So just wanted to point that out, that we're still making lower highs, lower lows. And something that I also found very interesting is when you take a look at the Bitcoin CME futures chart, which is right over here, I'll show you guys. Okay, so this is Bitcoin CME futures. When you take a fib from the very high in 2021 down to the low in November 2022, look where we topped out at. We topped out perfectly at the 1.786 extension. Okay, and on top of that, we have bearish divergence on the 3-day and on the monthly. Do you guys see that? Higher high on the monthly, lower high on the monthly. Now, this video is not meant to scare you. I'm just pointing out exactly what I see on the chart, and I'm expressing the triggers to you and making you aware that we haven't broke the lower high structure yet. Okay, so we could be in for what's called a summer lull. Basically, it's when you have traders and institutions stepping away in the later half of June and July going into August. So the correction may not be over yet because we're still trending sideways. And until we get confirmation, like I showed you above this level right here, 109.64, and then a move to the range highs, then the structure remains corrective. Okay, now alts have been picking up some steam, but I want to still see some more confirmation on alts. This is TOTAL3 right here. So as you guys can see on TOTAL3 on the daily time frame, if you take a fib from this swing low up to this swing high, you can see that we are still technically at the 61.8% fib and making lower highs. So until we can flip this 618, flip this lower high structure, then we'd be looking for a breakout, right? We would need to see a move above 896 on TOTAL3 and 839. Okay, in order for us to flip fully bullish on the market, because there is a possibility this candle here on TOTAL3 closes as a doji and then makes its way down to the 88.6% fib right over here. So I'm just pointing that out. And yeah, that's pretty much what I see on the market. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you guys in the next one.